Latvia, a land steeped in rich history, ancient myths, and dark secrets, is home to some of the most haunted places in Europe. From eerie castles to haunted forests, these sites are filled with tales of restless spirits and eerie occurrences. Join us as we explore the top 15 haunted places in Latvia, where the past is never truly gone and the dead never truly rest. First, Edole Castle, Edole. Deep in the heart of Latvia, shrouded in mist and the echoes of forgotten whispers, stands Edole Castle, a relic of the past where the dead refuse to rest. Built in the 13th century, its stone walls have absorbed centuries of sorrow, betrayal, and bloodshed. Locals speak in hushed tones of a woman, her face pale as the moon, wandering the corridors in a tattered white gown. They say she was once a noble lady, locked away by a jealous lover, her final screams swallowed by the cold, unfeeling walls. Visitors report sudden chills, flickering candlelight where none should be, and a suffocating presence watching them from the shadows. Doors slam on their own, footsteps echo in empty halls, and those who dare to stay overnight often wake with deep scratches on their skin, marks of a restless spirit, desperate to be heard. Will you be next? Second, Karosta Prison, Liepaja. Once a place of nightmares, Karosta Prison still breathes with the agony of those who perished within its decaying walls. Built in the late 19th century, this brutal structure became a death trap for prisoners, deserters, rebels, and political enemies, all doomed to suffer unspeakable torment. The air is thick with despair, and visitors often hear the anguished cries of invisible souls. Shadows move in the cells, unseen hands grip the unsuspecting, and heavy boots march endlessly down empty corridors. Some claim to see a soldier, his face twisted in eternal torment, staring through the rusted bars before vanishing into the darkness. Lights flicker, doors slam, and an icy breath whispers against your neck. Here, the dead do not rest, and the living are not welcome. Third, Riga Castle, Riga. For over 700 years, Riga Castle has stood as a silent witness to war, betrayal, and bloodshed. Beneath its grand facade lies a chilling secret, an unseen force that lingers in the dark. Guards whisper of footsteps echoing through empty halls, of doors creaking open on their own, and of cold hands brushing against their skin. But the most terrifying legend is that of the White Lady, a noble woman who met a gruesome fate within these walls. Some say she was murdered, others believe she leapt to her death, but all agree her spirit never left. She drifts through the corridors, her sorrowful gaze piercing through the veil of time. Visitors report seeing her reflection in mirrors, only to turn and find no one there. The castle hums with an eerie energy, as if something, someone, is always watching, waiting. Will you dare to step inside? Fourth, Cesis Castle, Cesis. Once a mighty stronghold of knights and conquerors, Cesis Castle now stands in eerie silence, its ruins whispering forgotten tales of betrayal and blood. The wind howls through the shattered towers, carrying the voices of those who perished long ago. Deep within the dungeons, prisoners met their gruesome fates. Some starved, others executed, their final screams still trapped in the stone walls. But the most chilling presence is that of a fallen knight, a traitor who was beheaded within these very halls. His shadow lurks in the moonlight, his armor clanking in the dead of night. Visitors speak of unseen hands gripping their shoulders, of whispers calling their names, of flickering torchlight revealing faces that shouldn't be there. Step too close, and you may feel his breath, cold, unforgiving, waiting to drag you into the darkness of his eternal prison. 5. Dundaga Castle, Dundaga. A fortress of stone and shadow, Dundaga Castle stands as a monument to a dark and twisted past. The walls whisper secrets of those who vanished within, their names long forgotten, but their spirits forever bound. The most feared tale is that of the Green Lady, a servant girl who was sealed alive behind the walls for a crime she never committed. On stormy nights, when the wind howls like a grieving widow, her mournful cries seep through the cracks, echoing through the empty corridors. Some say they have seen her, an eerie figure draped in a tattered green dress, gliding through the halls, her hollow eyes searching for justice, for revenge. The air grows heavy, the candles flicker, and an unseen force brushes against your skin. Step too close, and she may take you with her, into the walls, into the darkness, into eternity. 6. Liepaja, Northern Forts, Liepaja. Built as an impenetrable defense, the Liepaja Northern Forts now crumble beneath the weight of time and something far more sinister. The sea crashes violently against the ruins, but it is not the waves that bring chills to those who wander here. It is the whispers, soft, urgent, impossible to ignore. Soldiers who perished in battle, their bodies lost to the tide, are said to roam the tunnels, their restless souls seeking a war that has long since ended. Visitors report footsteps following them through the darkness, the feeling of unseen eyes watching from the shattered walls. Shadows twist unnaturally. Figures appear in the mist, then vanish in an instant. The deeper you go, the colder it gets, as if the very air is warning you. Leave now, or join the lost souls of the forgotten war. 7. Daugavpils Fortress, Daugavpils. A relic of war and suffering, Daugavpils. Fortress looms over the land like a forgotten sentinel, its walls steeped in blood and sorrow. Built in the early 19th century, this massive structure has witnessed countless battles, imprisonments, and untold horrors. Soldiers who never left the battlefield are said to still march through its endless corridors, their boots echoing in the dead of night. Flickering lights reveal shadowy figures standing motionless, only to disappear when approached. Some visitors report feeling an icy grip around their wrists, as if unseen hands are trying to drag them back into the fortress's dark past. The air here is thick, heavy, filled with whispers, with regrets, with something unseen lurking just beyond the veil of the living. And once you step inside, it watches, waiting to claim its next soul. 8. Tera Castle, Sigulda. High above the Gauja River, shrouded in mist and sorrow, stands Tera Castle, a place of legend, love, and death. The walls still whisper the tragic tale of the Rose of Tera, a young maiden who met a fate worse than nightmares. Betrayed, lured into a deadly trap, she chose death over dishonor. But her spirit never left. On moonlit nights, a spectral figure in a flowing white gown drifts through the ruins, her sorrowful eyes searching for something, someone, lost in time. Visitors hear soft sobs carried by the wind, feel unseen hands brush against their skin. Some claim to see her standing at the castle's edge, staring into the abyss, before vanishing into the night. The air here is thick with longing, with heartbreak, with something that refuses to be forgotten. And if you listen closely, you might just hear her calling your name. 9. Jelgava Palace, Jelgava. Once a grand residence of dukes and royalty, Jelgava Palace now stands as a silent tomb for the spirits trapped within. Beneath its elegant halls lies a dark history of war, betrayal, and restless souls. The most chilling presence is that of a duchess, her fate sealed by treachery, her spirit forever bound to the palace walls. On quiet nights, the echoes of soft footsteps drift through the corridors. Chandeliers sway without wind, and ghostly whispers murmur in forgotten tongues. Some visitors claim to see a woman in a flowing gown, standing at the windows, her hollow eyes fixed on something unseen. Others feel an icy hand brushing against their skin, a warning from the past. The palace may shimmer in daylight, but when the sun sets, it belongs to the dead, and they are always watching. 10th, Mazirbe Boat Cemetery, Mazirbe. In the quiet, forgotten corners of Latvia lies the Mazirbe Boat Cemetery, a place where old ships come to die, their decaying hulls standing like silent, twisted monuments to lost journeys. Abandoned and overtaken by nature, these boats are said to be haunted by the spirits of sailors who perished at sea, their souls trapped in the rusted timbers. On misty mornings, visitors report hearing the sound of creaking wood, faint cries carried on the wind, as if the vessels are calling out for those who once sailed them. Some claim to see figures standing among the wrecks, their faces hidden in the fog, watching from the shadows. The air is thick with sorrow, and the sea seems to whisper, warning anyone who dares to step too close. For here, the dead are not gone. They are only waiting for the living to join them. 11th, Kurmrags Lighthouse, Liepaja. Perched on a desolate shore, the Kurmrags Lighthouse stands as a lone sentinel against the relentless tides, its light long extinguished, but its haunting presence ever alive. Once a beacon for ships lost in the storm, it now guides only the restless spirits of sailors who met their doom in these treacherous waters. The lighthouse, abandoned and decaying, holds within its crumbling walls the stories of those who vanished, of ships lost without a trace, and lives erased by the sea. Visitors speak of a chilling presence, of cold gusts of wind that seem to come from nowhere, and the eerie sound of a foghorn that can be heard even when no one is around. Some have seen figures wandering near the lighthouse, their faces shadowed, their movements slow and deliberate. The sea is never calm here, and neither is the land. For the souls trapped in this forsaken place are never at rest, and they are waiting for someone new to join them. 12. Bridge to Nowhere, Jelgava Palace. Deep in the Latvian countryside stands the eerie and forsaken Bridge to Nowhere, a crumbling relic of a forgotten dream. Once meant to connect two towns, it now stretches into an empty field, leading nowhere. The bridge's cold stone arches loom like silent sentinels, watching as time slowly devours them. But something far darker lingers here, an overwhelming sense of abandonment, of lives lost to its failed promise. Locals speak of strange occurrences, footsteps echoing in the stillness, shadows darting beneath the bridge, and the unsettling sensation of being followed. On foggy nights, some say they hear the faint sounds of a distant bell tolling, a ghostly reminder that those who crossed the bridge long ago were never meant to return. If you dare to linger too long, you might feel the pull of the unknown, beckoning you to walk its path and disappear forever. 13. Zalenieki Manor, Zalenieki. In the heart of Latvia, shrouded by thick forests and hidden from the world, stands Zalenieki Manor, a place haunted by secrets, sorrow, and the restless dead. The grand estate, once a thriving symbol of wealth, now lies in ruin, its beauty overshadowed by the dark past it hides. Legend speaks of a tragic love story. A young woman, heartbroken and betrayed, took her own life within the manor's walls. Her spirit, vengeful and sorrowful, is said to haunt the halls, searching for her lost love. Visitors report hearing her mournful cries echoing through the empty rooms, and some have even seen a pale figure wandering the grounds, her eyes full of torment. The air grows heavy here, thick with the feeling of something or someone watching. The manor's silence is broken only by the whispers of those long gone, and at night, the restless spirits rise once more. Those who dare to stay too long may feel the chilling touch of her hand, cold as death, pulling them into the shadows of the past. 14. Pokaini Forest, Daugavpils. In the dense, dark heart of Latvia lies Pokaini Forest, a place where the trees seem to whisper in languages long forgotten, and the earth holds secrets that refuse to be uncovered. For centuries, it has been a place of mystery and dread, rumored to be a site of ancient rituals and dark forces. The forest itself feels alive, as if something watches from the shadows. Visitors report eerie sensations, cold spots, the feeling of unseen eyes tracking their every movement, and footsteps echoing on the forest floor when no one is around. At night, the wind carries strange whispers, voices too soft to understand, but too clear to ignore. Some claim to see fleeting shadows darting between the trees, figures that vanish when you turn to look. The air here is thick with an oppressive energy, and it is said that once you enter Pokaini, it will never truly release you. The forest is not just haunted, it is alive with the restless spirits of the past, and they are always waiting for the next soul to wander too deep. 15. Mezotne Castle, Mezotne. Hidden in the rolling hills of Latvia, Mezotne Castle stands like a forgotten monument to a time of blood and betrayal. Its once majestic walls now crumble under the weight of centuries of sorrow, yet something far darker lingers within. Legends tell of a battle fought in the castle's shadow, where the screams of dying soldiers echoed through its halls. Some say the spirits of those fallen warriors still roam the castle, their restless souls trapped within its decaying walls. Visitors speak of eerie footsteps echoing through the empty chambers, the cold breath of unseen spirits brushing against their skin, and the flicker of lights in abandoned rooms. The air here is thick with an unsettling energy, as if the past is clawing its way into the present. At night, the shadows stretch long and ominous, and those brave enough to linger may feel a cold hand upon their shoulder, a warning from the past, reminding them that Mezotne Castle is never truly empty. It is always waiting for someone else to join the dead. These 15 haunted locations in Latvia are more than just remnants of the past. They are places where the spirit world lingers, ever waiting. Would you dare to visit? Let us know in the comments below which place gave you the creeps the most. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales from the world's most haunted spots.